Hi guys, it's Lanikia. Today I am coming to you with one of my favorite shows now, Claws, um, which just aired its first episode last Sunday. Today is Monday, so there's two episodes actually, so I'm behind one episode. But I decided I wanted to review this show because at first I didn't know, but I really do love it. I love Niecy Nash. Um, I can't think of her name, but she played in Scrubs. She played in Devious Maids. I love her character in this as well. So I said, why not? I'm loving this show. I'm watching it. And so far, it's only I think it's only going to be like 5 episodes. So I guess this is just a trial run for them to see if they're going to get picked up continuously. But I hope they do because I'm really enjoying it. So we start the episode with Desna. Desna, which is Niecy Nash, Quiet Ann, which is my favorite girl from Scrubs, and Jennifer. They're all talking about this party they're going to go to. And then, they're just doing a walk. We're just getting an introduction to them and the just their characters and everything. So then we learn that Desna owns a beauty salon, a nail shop, and the other ladies work for her there. And then Polly Ann comes, which is one of my favorite characters on here as well. I don't know her from anything that I can think of, but I still love her character because she's so funny. Because she's like a Southern belle, but she's been to prison and everything. But so she comes home from prison, and they've saved her spot. So she comes in and everything, and they have a party for her. And you can just tell that it's a salon, and Desna owns it, but they're really more like family. So then Carucci comes in, and her character is Virginia. And what's so crazy is I didn't even know that was Carucci. But I like her on here because she plays her role really, really well. So the whole time when she was with her ex, I think a lot of people forgot that she had other dreams and aspirations, and I guess she's able to, to live them or whatever. And she's done a really great job on this show. I'm loving her on here. As far as like the character she's supposed to play, she's playing the role. Okay, so we meet all of them, and then it cuts to the scene where they're doing nails. So they're just doing their normal work or whatever, and this woman is telling a story, which is a funny story about a man wanting her and another woman to, wrestle and pizza and all of that. And then this man comes in to the shop, and we find out his name is Roller. So when he comes in, everyone's like, what does he do? And Desna says he's a beauty consultant. So Desna goes to the back with Roller, and Quiet Ann watches the door for Desna. So while Desna is in the back, she and Roller are getting intimate, if you want to call it that. But anyways, she and Roller are doing what they do, and he's talking to her, and he's telling her, "I need you to make another run." So we find out there, they go ahead and let you know that she's cleaning money for Roller. And so he was like, I need you to make another run. And we also find out she doesn't really want to do this. She just wants to do it so she can get her $20,000 and then open up a salon, a nail shop in a different location, a better location. But he convinces her to do it, and she said this is her last time because it's New Year's Eve or whatever, and she wants to start the year off different. So, but anyway, he convinces her to do it. So she goes and tells Jennifer, who we find out is Roller's sister-in-law. So she goes and tells Jennifer, we got to make another run. Virginia hears her and says, I can help you. Which Virginia, of course, Niecy Nash and all them, they're all in about the same age group. The Desna, Jennifer, Polly and Quiet Ann are all about in the same age group. And Virginia is the youngest. So they don't even pay attention to her. Desna just really tells Virginia, when I need you, I'll let you know. Until then, just do what you're supposed to be doing. So that's that. Ooh. I'm liking my natural hair today. It might not film well, but it's really cute in person. Anyways, So they go to this doc. They walk down the street and they go to this doctor, and Nisi tells, excuse me, um, Desna tells Jennifer, "I think I'm gonna get my 20,000 tonight or whatever." So they're really happy because they're wanting to go to this shop or whatever. So they're going to they go to this doctor, and we find out that what they're doing is, on the surface it looks legit, but really the doctor, they're giving the doctor pills, and he's giving the pills to the patients. And so the money that they're charging the patients, they actually take, the ladies take, and they clean it up. So that's how that whole thing runs. So they have this doctor involved in it as well. So once the doctor leaves, once they leave the doctor, we see them in the back of a van cleaning up the money and everything, and they're going to different banks and everything. Which that they could get it, like when I saw them doing it, I was like, man, like you get in a lot of trouble doing this, but whatever. So then we show Desna at her dream salon. They take her to her dream salon, and she's trying to get the deposit. She needs money for the deposit, which is why she needs that 20,000. They talk about that 20,000 a lot, but we understand why she needs it, because the salon that she wants, the nail shop that she wants, is really nice. And but so, anyways, so then they cut to a scene where Desna is at home, and she's taking care of her brother, who is Dean. I cannot think of the actor who plays Dean, but I loved him on I think The Best Man. He played in Lost. Like he has credits to his name, and he's doing a really good job of playing Dean in this. And we see that Desna's brother is he has, I guess, he has issues, but he's able to function, but she has to take care of him because he's almost childlike in certain aspects, so she takes care of him. So I guess that lets us see why she wants to do this so much. And at the end of the night, she and her brother are talking, and they talk about getting in a house with no mold, no water leaking, being in a castle with a beach and all of that. So it's really nice with that. Okay, so then Polly goes home after the girls leave or whatever. And the girls get dressed to go to New Year's Eve, and Polly's not going. She's like, I'm just gonna go home or whatever, because she has probation and all that. I guess that was one of the reasons too. She just wants to stay out of trouble. So then Polly she goes home, and then we find out that earlier in the episode she had said that she had a nice little apartment because she was supposed to have had money because she or whatever. But we find out that the place that she's describing to them is really in a bad neighborhood. It's like a hotel, but I guess it's like for people. I don't know exactly where she's staying, but it's not a good place, and it's just it looks like an old rundown hotel. It's probably really cheap to live in, and so that's what she could afford or whatever. So we see that's where she stays, and we can tell that that's not what she's used to. So the next time we see the ladies, they're all at the strip club, and they're all dancing and they're having a good time or whatever. And then that's when we meet Roller again, and he's with his the man. His name is Clay, but they call him Uncle Daddy because I guess Roller and his brother, their father died, so Clay took them on as his children, so that's why they call him Uncle Daddy. And Uncle Daddy is the head of everything that Roller and all of them do. And he tells Roller, you guys did a really good job this year. You brought in 3.5 million. I'm loving my natural hair, sorry. You guys brought in 3.5 million. And Roller's like, oh, cool, cool. I'm glad we did, because he wants to make Uncle Daddy happy. So he's happy about that. So then Uncle Daddy gives them the keys to a house or whatever. And Roller says, well, Desna, you're going to take care of her or whatever. You got her. And so Uncle Daddy was like, yeah, don't worry about it. I'm good. She's good or whatever. So I think Roller was trying to look out for her. So then, Quiet and so then we go to Quiet and we see the ladies all dancing or whatever, and then Quiet Ann gets a text, and so she leaves. And when she leaves and she goes outside, there's a woman waiting on her, and we find out this is a married woman. She tells her husband, she makes up some excuse for her husband, and so Quiet Ann and the married woman do what they do. Which I can't, like, this woman playing, I cannot believe I can't remember her name, but she, like, I love her so much because her acting ability. Like, we've seen her play the wife on Scrubs, to the mother maid on Devious Maids, to now this. I know she's played on some other stuff, but we like her versatility is so amazing. I love her in this. So then Jennifer's husband, so we find out Jennifer's husband is Uncle Daddy's son. I don't know if I said that earlier in this video, but Jennifer's husband is Uncle Daddy's son. So they're all there or whatever, partying and everything. Excuse me, I was reading my notes. And Uncle Daddy tells Desna, come here, to come here. So Desna goes with Uncle Daddy, and she's getting excited because she's thinking, oh my gosh, I'm finally going to get my money that she's worked a whole year for, because she's been doing this for them a year. And so he gives her the money or whatever, and she's like, thank you or whatever. So she goes to the bar and she starts counting it, and she's like, that's it? What? And so then they show Virginia, and then it cuts to, like, Polly comes to her while she's like thinking about her money, and she says, look, and it's Virginia dancing with Roller on the stage or whatever, and she's all popping in front of him and doing everything, and Polly's like, you want me to pour a drink in her hair? And Desna says, no, it's not about that, it's about respect. So I don't think she really wants Roller like that. I think she's just like, I mess with him, why are you doing that? So that's what that was. Anyways, so then they cut to the scene where Roller and Desna are outside eating. So I guess they're done with the club and now they're outside eating or whatever. Well, he's eating and she's complaining about, what she got. And she was like, did you know that's what he was giving me? And he was like, no, if I would have known he was going to give you only $3,000, I would have told him that's not enough. Because, $3,000 and you were supposed to get $20,000. Like, she probably wouldn't have been upset if it had been maybe 10 or 15. But $3,000 for working a whole year, like, that's not enough. And so she asked Roller what he gets, and he said same old thing. So I was like, oh well, he got $3,000 too. But I was like, why is he lying? Because he knows he got the house. So what is he lying about? But I think because he knew they were doing her wrong. But anyway, so she's trying to tell Roller she need to get her money or whatever, and he's like, I got you. But he pretty much is brushing her off. So she's just like, okay, I'll talk to you later, I'm going home. So she leaves him. Jennifer so then it's the next day, and Jennifer and her husband with her children are at the convenience store, and then they find they find Polly, the little one of their daughters, says, Mommy, what's the old lady doing crying? And they look and they see that it's Polly. So Jennifer confronts Polly about what's going on. You need to tell me. So she tells her, she's broke. Like, she had to pay all restitution to all the people she scammed. So she has no money. So then we see Polly leaves because she has no money. So Polly leaves, and they cut to the next scene, which is Jennifer telling Desna everything about Polly. And they're at a barbecue, and she's just telling her Polly is struggling or whatever. And I guess they just wanted us to see that Desna was gonna wanted to know, like, why wouldn't Polly tell her that? So then while they're talking, Desna gets a text. I think it was from Roller telling her the new address. And she's like, wait a minute. Roller is on this, I guess it's a great property. I think she said beach or golf, something. And the sister said, yeah, like Uncle Daddy said he did so well that he got him a house or whatever. And she was like, because really Roller is not doing the like, he's getting the drugs, but they're the one who's having to do the hard work of laundering the money, going to the banks and cleaning it, giving supplying taking care of the doctor to make sure he stays in line. So they're the one who are doing the dangerous work. Like, he's not doing it by himself. I guess that's what they're saying. Like, we're helping him. And for them to get 3.5 million and only give her 3,000 was garbage. Anyways, so Roller shows. So she drives out to Roller's house, and he's literally in her dream home. It's a big house, which is like the castle-like house. Well, it's not a castle, it's a mansion, but they're saying castle, which they mean just a big house. And he's on the beach. That's everything she and Dean want, or whatever. So she goes out and she's like talking to Roller like, wow, like, this is what you can't give me my money and he gave you all this. And he was like, it's family, it's different, yada yada yada. And she's trying to explain to him, like, I could get in trouble for helping you guys. He's not really trying to hear her. So that's pretty much where it goes from there. She takes care of his grooming needs, and I guess she just leaves. So then we see her later on in the beach with Dean and whatever. I guess she's brought him out to Roller's house, and then she's walking on the patio, and we see Virginia and Roller together, and he's doing that same thing that Desna does for him, where she chokes him, but she just does it, even though I don't think she likes it either, or she just does it because it's but Virginia's trying to tell him, like, she doesn't like that, and he's making her do it or whatever. And she goes on about her business. So then we cut to a scene where she's telling Roller, hey, she's at the shop now. Excuse me, my sinus. And Roller is at home, and he's got her on speakerphone, and he's touching all on Virginia and whatever. And she was like, Virginia hasn't come to work, and he's like, she'll be there. And then he tells her to get rid of Polly because Polly has an ankle bracelet, and he was like, that's no good. And of course, we know because we saw earlier that Virginia is the one who told him about Polly's ankle bracelet, because earlier in the episode she asked Polly where was she, and Polly said some silly stuff about she said something like she was the guest of this person. But anyways, I guess she was trying to make prison seem sophisticated and classy. But we saw her ankle bracelet. So Roller's like, that's not good business. She's going to have to report to her PO with us doing what we're doing. I don't need her to do that. Mind you, Desna was supposed to be out of this. She didn't want to even do this anymore. So he's just assuming that she's just going to keep doing it. They're talking about an MRI machine. They're doing all of that. And so and then he says, well, and with Polly out, you can give Virginia more hours and all that kind of stuff. Like, he's just a jerk. So then they cut to Virginia coming up, finally making it to the shop. And so they're like, hi girl, or whatever. And she was like, oh, I just needed a few hours of sleep and I'm good or whatever. So Polly tells her, I'm about to go get something to drink from the Jewish cafe. I guess it's a restaurant or something. Do you want some? You want to come with me, or you want something? And Virginia's like, no. But they show Polly lock the door. So when Polly locks the door, Desna slaps Virginia. And she tells her, she's pretty much telling her, you're not just going to roll in here after being with someone that he's mine. You're not just going to roll in here and you're fired. And I know you were the one who told him about Polly and all that. And so Virginia starts mouthing off, telling her, like, you can't fire me, you can't tell me what to do. And so that gets Jennifer upset. So she knocked Virginia into the nail polish, and there's nail polish all on her hair and stuff because it broke. Um, um, so then they cut to them throwing her outside, and when they throw her outside, it's just the back and forth that they do or whatever. And Virginia was like, I don't need this. Roller loves me. And, you know, they're pretty much like, girl, please. Like, you're so young and dumb. You don't even understand, like, everything that's going on or whatever. So Virginia leaves. She ends up leaving or whatever. And then Mandy calls Des, and she lets her know, hey, we need the rest of your deposit. You didn't come by. And she was like, we need it by Monday. So Des tells her, okay, I'll have it. So she goes out to Roller's house, and she lets but before all that happens, Des, the $3,000 that Uncle Daddy gave her, she just gives it to she just splits and gives it to the girls, because I think in her mind she already knew what she was gonna do, which is the next scene is that she goes out to the house, and she goes into Roller's house, and she's putting money in her, she's getting money, which I think she was just gonna slip in, steal some money, and then leave. But as she's doing this, she hears Virginia, and Virginia is pretty much, she's telling Roller to get off of her and stop choking her. He's pretty much like using her, almost rape. It's almost like rape, because she's begging him to stop and he won't stop or whatever. And so Desna walks up, and he hears, and Virginia's able to get Roller off of her, and she runs away, and so Desna tells her, leave for good this time. And then Roller tries to roll up on Desna, talking about, I need a real woman, and he's trying to kiss her, and so, like, come on, dude. Nobody, she doesn't want to kiss you, and you just finished being with this woman, like, but anyways, so he has an appointment to get his eyebrows done, and he just gets them done, I guess, every time at this time. So she sits him down, and she's threading his eyebrows or whatever, and so they're just talking about, about the money, and he says, because early in the episode she went to visit Uncle Daddy and tell Uncle Daddy she needed money, and Uncle Daddy was pretty much like, that's not between me and you, that's between you and Roller. So Roller tells her, don't do that again, like, my situation with you is with you or whatever. So she's like, okay. And so she's just looking around or whatever, and she was like, did you enjoy this big house or whatever? And he says, what are you talking about? And she says, did you enjoy being in this house? And he's like, he's like, what do you mean, did I still love being in this house, but you could see the way she worded it, so something was about to go down. So when she said it that way, the next thing she, I don't know what she did. I don't know if she hit him with something. She hit him with something, and he drops into the water, and then she starts pushing him down in the water because she's about to kill him, I guess, because she just had enough. Like, she just snaps in that moment. And so he goes down in the water, and he doesn't come up, so she thinks he's dead, and she's like on her knees at the edge of the pool, because they're by the pool, on her knees at the edge of the pool. And then the next thing you know, he pops up out of the water, and he starts like hitting the mess out of her. And then one time he hits her, and he stops, and he smiles, because he's enjoying this, because he likes to be choked, he likes all that kind of stuff. And when he smiles, the next thing you hear a gunshot, and you look, and he goes into the water, he falls off into the water because he's been shot, and you look, and it's Virginia who's shot him or whatever. And Virginia says, now can I be a part of your crew, to Desmond and Desna, and that's how it goes off. So that was Claws. Really loved it. I think it's gonna be a good show. It's not gonna be cute like Daytime Divas, because this to me is more of a dark comedy. So yeah, that was Claws, the season 1, episode 1. I'm about to do season 1, episode 2. Because I'm late doing this episode. I don't know, y'all. I'm serious. That game threw me all the way off, and I wasn't right the rest of the week. And then this weekend, I was busy. So that's Claws. Oh, I forgot one point. There is Russians that were at the clinic that Des got rid of. So we're going to see what that storyline is about, all the Russians and stuff. So anyways, that was Claws. I hope you enjoy it. Tell me if you're liking this show, you don't like this show. For this to come on TNT, I was a little bit shocked because this is more like a HBO type show because there's nudity in it. There's a lot of cursing in it. So I was surprised, but I'm loving it. So thanks. Have a great night. I will be back with episode 2.